Women don't always say out loud what actually makes them melt inside. They'd rather keep those very intimate secrets to themselves. And that's exactly why you need to watch this video. Because knowing these hidden triggers puts you in a position most men never even realize they could be in. It's like holding the cheat code to the game of attraction. And what's even better, you're using subtle, everyday behaviors that flip a switch in her mind before she even knows what's happening to her. For example, have you ever noticed how a woman might act completely unfazed when you roll up your sleeves? She barely glances, maybe even looks away like she couldn't care less. But inside, that little display of forearm, it's short-circuiting something in her brain. There's a reason why movies always seem to have that one scene where the guy, deep in thought, folds up his sleeves before getting down to business. There's strength in that motion, an effortless masculinity, a hint of ruggedness. It tells a silent story. This man can handle things, and whether she admits it or not, she notices. Then there's the way a man's voice changes in certain moments. You might not even realize you do it, but when you drop your tone a little, whether you're leaning in to tell her something, or just speaking with a calm, low, confident voice, it affects her in a way she'd never confess. Science has shown that deeper voices create a sense of safety and dominance, but on a personal level, it's not about sounding like a movie trailer narrator. It's about the way your voice subtly shifts when you're serious, when you're teasing, when you're genuinely interested. It's the unspoken message behind the sound that makes her skin tingle, not just the sound itself. And speaking of sound, there's something about a genuine, unexpected laugh from a man that completely disarms a woman. Not the polite, socially acceptable chuckle, but the kind of laugh that just bursts out of you, maybe even catching you off guard. There's something incredibly attractive about a man who isn't trying too hard to be cool, who isn't afraid to let loose for a second. It signals confidence, a comfort in his own skin, and most importantly, it makes her feel like she's in on something special. Laughter, especially the kind that isn't forced, creates an instant connection. It's like music. Once it starts playing, it changes the atmosphere without needing any explanation. But if laughter draws her in, the way you handle silence keeps her there. Most guys feel the need to fill every pause with words, but the ones who can sit in comfortable silence with a woman, they're operating on another level. There's something intoxicating about a man who doesn't rush to fill the gaps, who holds eye contact just long enough for it to mean something without making it weird. Silence, when used right, isn't awkward. It's charged with electricity. It lets anticipation build, makes her wonder what's going on in your mind, and most of all, shows a kind of presence that words sometimes ruin. Then there's the way you react when she's talking. Most men nod, say yeah at the right moments, maybe add a comment or two. But the ones who truly pay attention, who tilt their head slightly when she says something interesting, whose eyebrows subtly raise when she surprises them, who react not just with their words, but with their whole presence, those men make an impact. She won't say it, but when a man genuinely listens, not just waiting for his turn to speak, but actually soaking in her words, she feels something shift inside. It's rare, and what's rare is valuable. Confidence is an obvious attraction trigger, but what really drives women wild isn't the loud, showy kind. It's the quiet, steady kind. The kind where a man makes a decision without second-guessing himself, where he orders his food without looking around to see what others are getting, where he moves through the world with a certainty that doesn't need validation. It's not about being arrogant, it's about being sure. And that certainty, even in the smallest things, creates an irresistible pull. And finally, there's the way a man touches in the smallest, most casual ways. Not the obvious, intentional touches, but the ones that feel almost accidental, except they're not. The light brush of his fingers against her back as he guides her through a door. The way his hand lingers just a second longer when he hands her something. The way he rests his arm on the back of her chair without even thinking about it. These tiny, unspoken gestures say a lot without saying anything at all. They create familiarity, a sense of closeness, a kind of unspoken understanding that lingers long after the moment has passed. The truth is, attraction isn't always about the big moves. It's in the details, the things most men overlook because they seem too small to matter. But when you start paying attention, when you start seeing these moments for what they really are, opportunities, you realize just how much power they hold. Because the things that drive women wild, they're often the things they won't even admit to themselves. Okay, fellas, that's all I have for you in this episode. Do you know any other subtle under-the-radar triggers that drive women crazy? Please share them with the other viewers and put them down in the comments. And while you're at it, please press those like and subscribe buttons if you enjoyed this video. This way you will never miss any of our future videos too. I promise we will be back soon. All the best to you, take care, and goodbye.